first game we're talking about. We got Chelsea are home against Brighton. They're minus 120 to win. Brighton are plus 310. So it doesn't look like Cole Palmer is going to be ready. We got a rumor here that came out Tuesday that he could be out like up to a month. Day by day, Enzo Maresca said. I think he said Tuesday morning. So that's probably the big question here with Chelsea going into this game. Do you believe in Chelsea here to win this one? Brighton have had a difficult schedule, a little off and on in terms of results. But what's your read on this one?
Yeah, been a little bit of this one's a bit weird just given the injuries, and obviously we're early in the week. But like these matchups have in the past, like I guess the past 4 matchups have been kind of crazy. Go back to 2023, 3-2, and then the other matchup on that side is 2-1. Last season it was 4-2 and 3-0. So what we're getting in this matchup is goals. I am a little bit weary with Cole Palmer probably out. Just what early in the week, not quite sure, but I'm just going to hammer the both teams to score here and over 2.5. It's minus 120. Not the most insane odds, but I think the style of play between the two, I think that we can count on at least 3 goals. And then you just like, I don't know that both teams to score really does like it adds a little bit to it. And you're still not getting great odds, but it's just enough to kind of sweeten it slightly. And so I like that. Yes, I am weary, but I think, Chelsea have like 50 guys on the roster that could go in it. And maybe this is like an opportunity for one of those guys who wouldn't typically start ahead of Cole Palmer to go in there and, make a name for himself or, grab the opportunity.
Yeah, my thoughts on this game are I'm taking Brighton double chance minus 105. We go into the season, it almost feels like Chelsea just like it's like their top 4 team is kind of what everyone like, even they don't dive into it. It's like Chelsea top 4 team. We don't even have to discuss it. They added these players, blah, blah, blah. But I don't think they've actually played that well this season. The results, they have some wins. They had those wins early in the season, but I think it's kind of coming over from the Club World Cup when, they had these clean sheets. They beat PSG in the final. They have those wins. They had that run of wins going into their friendlies as well. But I just don't think that you throw in these injuries. They don't have a true number 9 here. You take away Cole Palmer as well. I just don't think they're playing well. And we saw last season, these teams had 2 games. I think it was in 4 or 5 days because they played in the FA Cup and then league back to back. Brighton won both those. This was back in February. And we look at right now, we're talking during the Chelsea-Lincoln City game. The first half, Chelsea, maybe they rotated a few players, but still a pretty good team here. Lincoln City's League One side. Chelsea are getting outplayed right now by Lincoln City. So Brighton double chance minus 105. I'm not going to go as far to say Brighton money line here, but we saw what Brighton did against them last season, and I don't think Chelsea are actually playing all that well anyway. So let's do the double chance.
I like it at the bridge too, notably. So that gives them a little bit, but
gives them a little bit. But is that enough to make them minus 120? That is the question. Crystal Palace are home against Liverpool, also taking place at the same time as the other one on Saturday. Almost the same exact odds. Crystal Palace are plus 295 at home. Liverpool minus 120 to win this one. I feel like the odds are kind of surprising. You look at the implied total, Liverpool at like 1.8 implied total. We've seen this Crystal Palace defense. We've seen them against Liverpool. I feel like if you kind of throw out some of these high-scoring Liverpool results, I feel like the 1.8 is high, especially at Crystal Palace, given how good Crystal Palace have been defensively this season. 17 straight without a loss for Crystal Palace, and they're plus 295. So can Liverpool win this one as a minus 120 favorite?
Yes, I think they can. I'm sitting here and in my brand new Mo Salah kit. It's got the badge on it, the golden Premier League badge from hoisting the trophy last season. It's green. It's the new green Adidas kit, so I'm feeling especially spicy. But you're right. Like Palace have been 17 straight is absolutely nothing to scoff at. This matchup too has been kind of weird the last couple seasons. Obviously, they already played each other in the Community Shield, so they are pretty familiar with each other. I think we might get the benefit of Liverpool playing on Tuesday this week rather than last week where they came in and played on, I guess, was it Tuesday as well, or was it Wednesday? It would have been Wednesday.
It was Wednesday.
Where they played the Champions League Wednesday, so a little bit, slightly more rest. I currently have Liverpool money line and under 2.5 goals. is plus 360. So I don't want to hit just the under 2.5. That feels like it's, although it is plus 110, so decent, but I think we just take the fact that they have another 2 days of rest. They're currently playing a B squad in the League Cup. Palace are going to have to go out there and compete against a team that should give them a pretty good match. And I like the under 2.5, but I like Liverpool to win this one. And there's been 3 red cards in the past 6 league matchups between these two teams, which is kind of insane.
Yeah, definitely on the under. Can't disagree with that one. You look at Crystal Palace without Eze, and then you throw in injuries to Ismail Sarr. You throw in an injury to Jeremy Pino, their new signing as well. It's like, can this team even score? I think that's going to be a question here. I mean, they scored against West Ham, but okay, a little different situation. I just feel like this is. I'm also going double chance Crystal Palace here, similar to the other one, minus 110 Crystal Palace. Like I'm at home, I think it's going to be defensive. I think it's going to be a 1-1, maybe 1-0, maybe scoreless. I think it's just going to be low scoring. That's how Crystal Palace are playing. Minus. Remove the West Ham match. That's just how Crystal Palace are playing. Outside JP Benteta, what can this team actually do offensively? I'm not sure, but they have the defense. They have the midfield. Adam Wharton's back from his injury. They have the wing backs. They have the players to keep this low scoring, and I think keep Liverpool in check here. So double chance Crystal Palace, under 2.5 as well. Saturday's match is maybe the biggest one of the weekend here, but we're going to go through it quickly. Newcastle are home against Arsenal. Newcastle are plus 230 to win, and Arsenal are plus 120 to win. What do you think about Newcastle, who really haven't looked that good offensively this season?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a tough start. They brought in a couple guys up top. They haven't really they've gotten a little bit started, but not to great heights. I think it's tough here. The great equalizer is it's at St. James Park, which is probably the best or the hardest ground to go into as an away team. But I think Arsenal have had an unbelievably tough start to the season. They've had Man United, they've had Liverpool, they've had Man City, and now they have Newcastle away. So no one can really kind of, I guess, discredit how they've done. And also big to get the draw on Sunday. But I just think that they have been so good defensively. Both of these, like Newcastle having a tough time scoring, I like the Arsenal clean sheet. It's plus 180. I think they're just the best defensive team in the league. They go too deep at center back too. So they can bring in Mascara. They can bring in a couple other guys and they're still strong, even if it's like 60th, 70th, 80th minute. I think that they're just so tough defensively. And yeah, so I'm on Arsenal clean sheet. It's plus 180. You could probably parlay that with a couple other bets too, like a money line bet or something like that, and get a little bit better odds.
Arsenal clean sheet. What about a Newcastle clean sheet? What about a scoreless draw? Another scoreless draw.
Do exact score 0-0.
Yeah,
that would be spicy.
I think Newcastle already have 2 of those this season. Leeds and Bournemouth, I want to say, are the ones. And actually Aston Villa, the opener. So they have 3 scoreless draws already in 5 matches. There's been 6 goals in the last 4 matches between these teams. I think all those were actually last season because they had the 2 EFL Cup matches as well. So under 2.5 is minus 130, which isn't too surprising. If you want to throw that onto something else, we talked about under corners in Man City Arsenal match. Arsenal, I think, ended up with 11 in that one, but for obvious reasons, after going down a goal, I wonder, throwing under Newcastle at home, maybe under Arsenal corners. But I'm actually on Newcastle double chance and under 2.5 instead because Newcastle are at home. Arsenal, I said Arsenal were playing better than Manchester City ahead of that one. But Newcastle, I think this is going to be a big game for them. We saw what they did last season. I think they just have the confidence, I think, against this Arsenal team with that midfield that Newcastle have with the new pieces in their attack. And we'll see if they go for a 4-3-3 or in their game last week, they went 3 center backs, 2 wing backs, 5 defenders. And that made it even more defensive in the game at Bournemouth. Are they going to do that at home against Arsenal? It could be the case. But under 2.5, and Newcastle double chance is plus 136.